Greetings, folks. Have you ever dreamed of being stranded on a desolate island with several beautiful women while standing around a blazing fire because it's night, it's raining, you have no water, and you can't sleep because you're slowly freezing? No? Good, because there is nothing of that in this game, and I like this one way more. I was quite surprised by Beyond the Map because I expected many things, except something so familiar to Valheim. It's clear the developer took a lot of inspiration from it, as despite being isometric, bird-eye view or top-down, however you want to call this perspective, the gameplay is very similar. Gather, build, survive, kill. At the start of the game you'll be welcomed by your character creation, where you can customize your gender, the appearance to a certain degree, but more importantly your class creation. At this moment there are only three. One for each attribute. You have the Marine, which is strength based, the Pirate for agility, then you have the Scholar for magic. And yes, this game features magic from the get-go. The first spell for you is gonna be Fireball. The choice of class is quite meaningful in the sense that it will provide you with some passive effects unique to them, and I repeat, very long skill cooldown. 15 minutes of real world time feels a little excessive. Naturally this was done because abilities can be quite powerful and should be used wisely, unless you play Pirate, because zoom zoom zoom. The workbench system is the same as Valheim, and it's going to be the cheap key element necessary for establishing bases, put down your crafting stations and defenses, as well as dismantling and even crafting rafts. Because yes, this game will involve a lot of sailing around the map. Everything here is randomly generated and it will feature a lot of islands, different biomes and levels. And your ability to create outposts and connect them with portals is gonna be quite necessary for your progression. Because when you die, all items are dropped, unless you desire to disable that in the word selection. Just keep in mind that once a word has been placed, you cannot change the settings of that word. Moreover, the same word can be visited with different characters. Just in case you are thinking to start over, you can even transfer gathering tool from your main character to an alt to speed up the process of setting your base up. There is no hunger or thirst, at least for now. Food is necessary to keep your combat buff up, and it's quite important, and the choice of which specific food will give you a different effect. Eventually, one of the early discovery will lead you to believe that soup is the best form of food in the game, because it is. A stew will allow you to combine 4 different ingredients and give you 2 portions without decay, allowing you to stack those bonuses even higher. And of course, food will come with a timer. As you make your way from the Rock Age to the Tin Age to the Copper Age to the Bronze Age, you get access to more crafting stations and, more importantly, progression. In a curious twist, Beyond the Map features randomization regarding items. Think about these like sorta like Diablo or another ARPG. They will come in different rarities, with different rolls, with different effects. Some of them can be even crafted, upgraded and broke down for materials to empower other items. This is quite interesting because these items won't just empower your stats or even abilities, but they can also add special effects, like arrows can ricochet and bounce between enemies, you can create tornadoes, and more stuff like that. For an early access game, this is quite promising and gives incentives to chase or look for specific items. As you level up and gain more experience, you will have access to the perk system, which can be respecced at free at any time. Okay, fine, but how do you get the abilities themselves? Well, the twist is that you cannot learn abilities when you level up. You need to kill specific mobs that will drop pages, that then you can learn them, and then realize that these are only the base abilities, and then you can add glyphs on top of that. You can connect them together in a grid-based system. If you're familiar with RPG, the system is not terribly complex, but it's still quite effective, allowing for a certain degree of build customization. The free respec makes trying out ability and experiment even better, and I approve this choice quite a lot. Another setting that you stumble depending on your map are monster raids that will happen periodically during late night. Usually when you go to bed and you wake up, you can expect an attack. The mobs won't be scaled down to the island where your base is. No, they will come matching your level as an increasing and raising threat. However, much more concerning is landing on the wrong island and getting chased by a boss appearing from nowhere and be instantly wiped. Some mobs are indeed incredibly strong, others feel like pushovers. I'm currently playing on my second playthrough as I switched from Marine to Pirate because I realized that mobility is more important in the early game, and while melee has the advantage of being able to cleave enemies and generally it's very hard, it's a more risky playstyle all things considered. Mobs variety is also there, at least for an early access game. You have your typical animal mobs, boars, bears, wolves, and then you have the drowned, which will come as casters, archers and warriors. And even among them you'll find special mobs with unique ability patterns, such as the archmage that will cast Incinerate, and of course the Bowmaster who can multi-shot. Later on you will meet skeletons and other fantasy enemies. The map size is not that small either, as traveling across island on foot takes a little bit of time, which is naturally cut down by the use of teleporters, which are very easy to place, to be honest. Should you play beyond the map? For an early access title, well, of course the game is unfinished, but it's quite polished and I didn't encounter any major bug. I've seen much worse release from games that were much further along in development. Plus, it's an indie game, so if you are into this type of games, you can try it out. It should give you some playtime for a few hours, and you realize if you like the game or not by the time you hit 2 hours anyway. So if you're not convinced, you can always ask Gabe for your money back. However, as all early access game, if you're not interested in playing an unfinished product, or take the gamble to see if the developer is actually gonna accomplish his goal, then hold on or just wishlist the game. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more humor inconsistent gaming content. Have a good day and I'll see you in the next video, but only if you subscribe. See you!